Peu importe qui nous sommes et où nous vivons, nous voulons tous les mêmes choses. Nous voulons être libres, être nous-mêmes, jouer, apprendre et défendre ce en quoi nous croyons. Ensemble, nous pouvons transformer ces aspirations en réalité pour tous.
When we talk about human rights, we're talking about the most basic freedoms and protections that everyone, everywhere deserves. And that's what we defend.
I'm standing in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Communities of color in Tulsa and around the country are calling for reforms to how policing is conducted.
I am here in Harare, where we are investigating a severe sanitation and water crisis. Thousands of residents are at risk of waterborne diseases like typhoid and cholera. It is a ticking time bomb.
Human Rights Watch travaille dans une centaine de pays, ainsi que sur des questions qui n'ont pas de frontières.
Here in Brazil, there has been a dramatic increase in deforestation in 2019, and the people who are struggling to defend the forest are getting threatened, attacked, and even killed.
La première chose qu'ils font, c'est de comprendre ce qui se passe vraiment.
People often think that the rainforest is something remote that has no impact in their lives. But we are all interconnected. People who are defending the forest are putting their lives at risk to protect a resource that we all depend on.
Leur méthode est simple. Ils parlent à de nombreux témoins, ils corroborent leurs témoignages et réunissent des preuves supplémentaires pour les analyser. Une fois tout cela mis bout à bout, ils ont une vision claire de ce qui s'est passé.
In Xinjiang, in northwestern China, authorities are building a surveillance state to be able to track 13 million Turkic Muslims' every move. Dubious criteria are being used to identify large numbers of people, many of whom are then arbitrarily locked up.
The Chinese government always try to censor, try to make it difficult for us to get into the truth. So you have to be relentless in fighting against that.
Que ce soit un gouvernement ou une entreprise, Human Rights Watch tient ceux qui détiennent le pouvoir pour responsables de la protection des personnes.
We're here in Iowa City, Iowa, talking to Yulisa, who was separated from her husband Alejandro at the border at nearly 8 months pregnant.
Nice standing.
Even though mass family separation has ended, the administration still has come up with ways to separate families.
I think for me, part of the biggest struggle here is getting people to understand that refugees are just like you and me, and we could so easily be in their place.
Ils disent la vérité, et cela peut les rendre impopulaires.
With the UN warning the public health emergency is quickly becoming a human rights crisis, how many limitations are people willing to accept in order to fight a threat like coronavirus?
Nobody objects from a human rights perspective to the efforts to limit our travel, to enforce social distancing, to do the things that are necessary and proportionate to our public health needs. But when autocrats censor or grab power or take various other steps that are antithetical to human rights, it actually puts us in a worse place in public health terms.
Tout le monde sait qu'ils sont experts pour établir les faits.
The government wants to introduce a phone app that tracks those who've tested positive to the virus and those they come into contact with. The government wants at least 40% of Australians to voluntarily sign up to it.
We don't want to see coronavirus becoming the new terrorism in Australia, the excuse for bringing in, overly broad surveillance mechanisms that would have massive implications on our civil liberties.
I don't think anyone can do this alone. And it's important to know what you can add to the equation.
When people trust you with their stories, you become their messenger.
they raise their voice to say, what we want is justice, and we believe you can help us.
The desire for freedom and for dignity are innate.
Wherever we are, whoever we are, these rights matter, and we're going to be stronger if we face these challenges together.
Changer le monde est un choix. Ensemble, nous pouvons transformer ce rêve en réalité pour tous.